So good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can hear me and you can see me. Okay, excellent. So we have today a presentation on access to risk finance like EIC. I'm Odysseas Spiroglou. So let me start the presentation and go directly to our subject. So let's share our screen. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now.
Yes, we can see it on the sales.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So I have three presentations today. One of them will give you an overview of the EIC Accelerator and the new opportunities that have already come up with this program. And the other two will be more, although they are built on the EIC Accelerator template, they are more generic presentations in the sense that you can use what you will see in every case when you want to promote a company, when you want to build a business plan, and when you want to convince investors or partners to work with you. So the first presentation is about EIC Accelerator, as I said, and let's go. Before I start, a few words about me. I'm an engineer by background, working with ICT and financial also, and I have more than 23 years of experience in EU funds, in capacity building programs, having worked in a few countries. And the last maybe more than 10 years, I'm working in innovation management, in project management of EU projects, helping startups and companies realize their innovations. What is EIC Accelerator? Maybe some of you have already heard it. It is a flagship program under Horizon Europe that supports startups and SMEs in developing and scaling breakthrough innovations. So we're not talking about something that is already there. We're doing something that can be really disruptive, really interesting, and can have a great impact. Ideally, create new markets or disrupt the existing ones. And why is it so important? Because with EIC Accelerator, the Commission is trying to fill the gap between private investment and banking. So for companies that have a great idea, but this idea is maybe too risky for someone to invest in, then the EIC can take this part and can provide a grant. So money that come without equity, without having to give them back. And in addition to that, can provide an equity component. So help the companies find some strategic investors. Single startups, SMEs, spin-outs can apply. So it's not a program for big companies. It's not a program for corporations or for the public sector. It is only for startups that are already incorporated, or for startups and for entrepreneurs intending to launch a startup. And you have to be established in EU or in one of the Horizon Europe associated countries. Mid-caps are larger companies, so companies beyond 250, with more than 250 employees, but less than 500. And these companies can also apply, but they cannot apply for a grant. They can apply only for the investment component. So the Commission will help them find investors. After Brexit, UK applicants are restricted to grant-only scheme. Maybe that may change in a few years, but at the moment they are only can access the grant scheme. And of course, as in every EU project, female-led companies are encouraged to apply. There are three options, or the two options. So the first option is a grant. So you can apply for a grant of up to 2.5 million for innovation activities, but the company needs to be a little mature. So the TRL, the technology readiness level, need to be above 6. The grant that the company will take can be used to cover the further development and prototyping and the market entry. So the remaining activities that need to take place in order to reach the market. The grant will be only 70% of the total eligible cost. So this is also important. And the project duration cannot be more than 24 months. So 2 years project. Now, on top of that, the company has access to investments, which can be from $500,000 to 10 million, and even more in certain cases. And these investments will be for equity. So the investors will take a part of the company. But in every case, they will not exceed 25% of the voting shares. So they will not have control over the company. And what is unique in the case of European Commission, and as you can expect, they follow what we call the patient capital principle. So they are not in a rush to earn more money as another private investor may be. So they will not squeeze, they will not press the company to have profits. They will wait for maybe even 7 or 10 years to make sure that the company and the idea is mature enough and the market is ready there in order to realize their gains. A key issue that I didn't mention before is that in order for the investment to take place, the company needs to prove that it is non-bankable. That means that if you go to the bank with this idea, the bank will not fund you because it will consider it too risky. So it's not a matter of not having the right profile, but having a risky idea where the bank wouldn't accept that risk. And so an independent investor have to jump in. In the case of blended finance, where we combine the grant and the investment, again, the grant component cannot be more than 70% of the, in the grant component, you cannot spend the grant component has to be less than 70%. So basically, if the project is 2 million, you will only get 70% of that costs. And again, the investment components that will be funded by the grant will mainly focus on TRL 6 to 8. However, the grant component will focus on 6 to 8, but the investment component will cover the remaining. So you will get the grant, you will cover the development, the prototyping, and then you will use the investment to go to the market, to do your scale-up activities, and make sure you have the exposure that you need. The key features of the program. As I already said, it's a high-risk, high-impact program. It supports game-changing technologies or business models, so innovation can come up not only from an idea or a technology, but it also can come from a business models. We'll talk about that later on in some examples. And the aim is to push innovations from TRL6 to TRL9. So through that, the program will help the companies to improve their TRL to mature their innovations. There is a very important additional support component. It's called the Business Acceleration Services. And once you are in the program, so once you apply and the short application is accepted, then you have access to a number of business acceleration services. Lately, EIC Accelerator has opened up some other programs as well. So the fast track, the plugin, for instance, are programs that allow a company, allow a startup to go directly to a full application phase. I will talk later about the application process, but in order for you to understand the process, we have a short application and then we have a full application and then an interview. So a fast track will take you directly to the full application phase, as will a plugin program. Now, how you get something like that? If you have already participated in a certain Horizon Europe project or Horizon 2020, and you have a spin-off out of that project, maybe you are eligible. Or if you have participated in a certified national and regional program, and you have succeeded there, then you are also eligible to go directly to the full application stage. The link at the bottom can take you to more information about that. What is also interesting is they have a scheme they call Seal of Excellence. So in that case, a quality label is awarded to high quality proposals that have not been funded. Why is this important? Because it will help you get funded under some national projects, national programs. So there are some synergies between national programs and EU programs, and there are paths that can lead you from one of them to another. EIC Acceleration offers two funding streams. So there is EIC Accelerator Open, which is open to proposals from any field of technology. So there is no restriction in that. But there is also the strand of EIC Accelerator challenges. And the challenges can be anything like that. So at this particular course, so in 2025, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 challenges. And as you can see, they come from different sectors. So we have, for instance, the material sector, material development with energy as an explicit area. We have biotechnology, low emissions in food and feed production. We have, of course, AI and generative AI and innovations in space servicing. So this is space, talking about satellite capabilities in orbit, refueling, space debris, and finally mobility. So if you have an idea that can fit explicitly into one of these areas, then you will go for the challenges. If not, then you will go for the Accelerator Open. The advantage of going into one of the challenges is that the competition will be more concentrated. So in EIC Accelerator, every and any idea is eligible. So anybody can submit there. In EIC Accelerator challenges, usually we see much more mature ideas with companies that have already some traction, have already some customers, and know how to deal with that particular market and know how they want to grow and expand. So as I already mentioned, the application process is 3 steps: short proposal, where you submit your brief pitch, so a short, like 10 questions form, a 10 slides deck, so a presentation, and a 3-minute video. In all these, you repeat the same information, and I will focus a lot on this short proposal application later on. If you succeed, then you go to the full proposal, where you have to offer details, you have to further explain your financial plan, and of course, you have to update your pitch. If the evaluators here consider you as good material, mature enough for the project, then they will invite you for a jury interview, where you pitch your idea in front of a jury, and then you have an interview with an expert panel. So the timeline for applications, the short proposal can be submitted at any time. It is evaluated continuously, so every month I believe they do an evaluation of the short proposals. However, for full applications, we have 2 cutoff dates, 12 March and 1st of October. So in short proposal, as I said, an application form, short application form, a pitch deck of 10 slides, and the video pitch. So you need to record and send the video. The evaluation of short proposals is taking place by 4 experts, and you get the results within 4 to 6 weeks. If you get 3 goes out of the 4 experts, then you are invited to submit a full application. Now, I already mentioned the business acceleration services. These are the pillars of this project, this program rather. So we're talking about contracts, contacts, and skills. And in contracts, mainly there's a bunch of programs of initiatives that will help you find prospective clients, either by talking to corporates or by participating in innovation procurement programs or some trade fairs, or helping you present the case in front of investors, or organize some soft landing missions in other countries. In contacts, you will have access to more than 1,000 companies and investors, 600 plus coaches and mentors, ecosystem partners and experts across many areas. And there are also some programs to facilitate that. So there's a community, there's a partnership program. And of course, in skills, there are some programs that can help you improve your skills with coaching, with peer learning, with special support for transition from the lab to the market. So the next steps, and we're going to delve in these next steps immediately, is explore the EIC Accelerator, prepare a short proposal, and know how to write a good proposal, so know how to achieve success. I think that the short proposal offers a lot of opportunities, even for startups that are just now realizing what they are doing, because it offers a template for you to be able to mature your ideas and go to the next step. So let's go to the next presentation, which is how to write a winning short application. So, as we already discussed, there's a 3-step process, and we have proposals submitted at any time. Let me. Okay, yeah, this is correct. And evaluated remotely by EIC expert evaluators. If you're successful, then you are invited to submit a full proposal, and then you are assigned some business coaches to help you complete your full proposal. And this proposal is assessed remotely by EIC expert evaluators. If you are successful in that, then you go to the interview, and if you are successful in the interview, then you are invited to the grant agreement. So let's dig in a little bit in that. So the short proposal, it's pretty easy. I'm sure that this is something that any company should prepare anyway, regardless if it plans to submit a proposal in EIC Accelerator or not. These are main components of communicating the idea of your company. This is something that any company or any research team should have. And this is mainly the pitch deck and the ability to respond to some short questions that you will see. And these short questions is the forum. Now, video pitch is nothing else than showing either a demo of the product or some testimonials or the team talking about that. So it's more like the ability to inspire people and convince them when you talk. The full proposal is more detailed with a more elaborated business plan and of course a financial plan. And more or less the same pitch deck is presented here, but it may be updated. And the same video pitch, again, it may be updated a little bit. In EIC jury interview, you get, once you are successful, you will go into that. And of course, you will be invited to present your idea in front of the jury. And then there is a Q&A session. Usually the presentation lasts for 10 minutes, and then you have 20 minutes to respond to the questions. If you succeed in that, then the grant is yours. So you are invited to the grant agreement. This is certain. However, if you have blended finance, or if you have requested both grant and investment, then the investment equity will be assessed by the EIC fund. You will get support by the business acceleration services, and you will have a decision by within 2 to 6 months. If for any case the committee that will assess the investment decides that the company is not matured yet, then the company will start with the grant, the 2 million that we mentioned earlier, and in 6 months they will reevaluate the maturity of the company. So what is the short proposal about? You need to consider these questions. So basically, it is a document where you describe the vision and ambition to scale up. So not where you are now, not what you're doing now, but where you want to go, where you want to go once you get the money. And of course, in order to do that, you need to have identified a problem and a market opportunity. So you need to explain what is the problem the customer is paying, what is it that you solve, and for who are you solving it for. After the problem, then you need to describe the solution. So the innovation, what's the solution, how it works, why is this solution a breakthrough? Is it better than other solutions? How is this better than other solutions? What is the TRL level and so forth? So problem, solution, market. This is how it goes. And once you go to the market and competition analysis, then you have to describe your business model, your target market, and why your innovations will be successful. So this is where you explain where you are going to sell, who are your competitors, and what are your advantages. And then you explain your broad impacts. So the impact to society, to environment, to culture, to climate, the alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, the job creation, and your alignment, of course, with EU policies and regulations. Then you explain your team, who are you, do your founders and administration of the company have a track record that you can present? Do you have a gender balance? Are there any skills missing? And if they are missing, how do you plan to get them? And finally, how much do you need? How much money do you need? How much money do you need from the EC, and how much are you going to get from the investor in case you go for a blended fund? And that's it. Remember that the responses to these questions are relatively short, so the application is not more than 10 pages. And then you have to support that through the pitch deck. And as I said in the beginning, a pitch deck is something that you should have no matter what. And this is why in the Ignition program, what we required is to create a simple pitch deck using the same template as the EIC, because we feel that it's a great template. It is not discovered out of thin air. It is aligned with the templates used in the States, in the VCs all around the world, and it gives an excellent overview of the team of the company and of what you're trying to do. So let's see some examples of pitch decks and how you can create yours. You start with a cover slide. This is clear. You have to add your company name, of course. If there is a product name or a project name, you add it here. But you should also try to give the mission of the company, or a tagline, what you're doing, so that people, when they see your slide, understand directly what you're trying to do. So you see here an example from Touristai, personalizing the travel experience. You don't have to reveal everything. It's Coinbase, your hosted Bitcoin wallet. And this was about Uber. You don't have to reveal everything, but you have to give a hint of what is it that you're doing. In the second slide, you need to present the problem. What's the problem that it's going to be solved? What are the needs of the customers and the users? And more importantly, you need to quantify this problem. You need to give numbers. And you need to explain how the innovation will help and give numbers about that as well. So let's see some examples. This is a way to present the market and what section of the market you are targeting in. In here in BuzzFeed, not a lot of graphs, but a lot of interesting data here, and capturing the market and some testimonials for where we are now, describing the problem. And in here in Intracom, again, describing the problem, how building relationships with customers is hard, especially for SaaS providers. All of these companies that I have here as examples are major companies today, but they started small. They started with a pitch deck. So once you have established the problem, then you have to describe the solution. Now, if you have enough space, if the template is bigger, then you may devote 2 or 3 slides to that. Or maybe you can have a presentation with 2 slides which you do not show unless you're asked for. Because sometimes you need to offer some data, but this is not enough. 1 slide is not enough, and you don't want to clutter it with information. So in here, you need to describe your innovative idea, your service, or your process. What's the solution? You need to be visual, so you need to show something here. If you have a screen, if you have a product, you need to feature it here. You need to have a certain level of maturity. So we're not looking for TRL below 6. Nevertheless, even if you are a startup that is on an idea stage at the moment, so you are way beyond EIC Accelerator, this is the same structure of a presentation, of a pitch deck that you should be preparing. Don't worry that your TRL is 3 or 4 or 5. It's the same presentation. It's the same structure. You need to explain it here and show how, from where you are, let's say you are in TRL 4 now, you will go to TRL 6 or 7 or beyond. And of course, you need to explain what are your key assets, what are the key technologies that you're using. This is a screenshot of the pitch from Matchbox. You may know that now as Tinder. This is Airbnb, originally Bed and Breakfast, and this is Dropbox. So remember that some of these presentations date at least, 15 years now, or definitely more than 10. So you can see that the visuals or even the screens do not look very fancy, but this is where we were at that point. So you describe the problem, you offer the solution, and then you need to describe the market, because there's no use in solving a problem if nobody is willing to buy that. And in these cases, maybe there isn't any problem to solve to start with. Now, here you have to explain the market opportunity, the market outlook, and the beachhead market. So the market that will help you start. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. I have quite a short throat today. Now, this is not maybe the best example because WeWork has crashed, and it is not considered a very successful case at the moment. But it is a good example of presenting the market and what they were trying to do. And this is another example with some visuals, again from Airbnb, about the trips and the online budget and the share of the market that they thought they would access. And finally, this is a more mature case of LinkedIn and how LinkedIn showed the growth that had achieved at that point. And I think this is from a second stage of funding. So LinkedIn here was already quite ahead of the others with the highest stage of adoption, and they were not looking for seed funding, they were looking for more. But in any case, it's a good example. So problem, solution, market. Once you have explained these three, then you need to talk about the competition. And remember that competition is not necessarily another company. Competition is not necessarily a competitor at the same space that is doing something exactly like you, but has different features. This may well be the case, but many times, especially when you are talking about disruptive ideas or products that go beyond what the market knows, then we may have competition from established solutions that are completely different. So people are accustomed to things and they do not want to change them. So the competitor of a digital agenda wasn't another digital agenda. It was a Filofax for you that may remember it. So it was the hard copy agenda. And the competitors of digital cameras, as they evolved, were not other digital cameras. And the competitors of film wasn't another film. It was the mobile phone with a high resolution digital camera. So the competitor is not always where you expect them to be. So you need to identify the competition and you need to identify the unique selling points. What you do well, what your customers want, and what is your competitive advantage, not only technically, but also commercially. And how you compare with them. Now, there is a way to, more than one ways to present that. So the cross is, this matrix is one of such ways to show the competition and position in this matrix the competitors in the axis that you decide. So in this case, Airbnb chose offline and online transactions, or transactions here. In one side the online and the other side the offline, and price. So affordability versus price, expensive price. And they position themselves at the top. Usually here, so this quarter is the best. So yes, we have competition from other companies, but they are either still forgotten in stayed in the past, using offline transactions, or they do use online transactions, but they are very expensive, like rent a home or Orbitz, or they do none. So they are still forgotten in the past with offline transactions, and they are expensive as well. So this is why we're the best. And in Mint here, Mint is a financial application. They list their competitors and their competitors' advantages. Their advantages are the way they are going to defend their position against other competitors. In Dropbox, we have a more, let's say, common way to present the competition with these checks. So you can see that Dropbox, for instance, can cross every box compared to the other alternatives. So problem, solution, market, competition. Now you need to explain how you will get there. And this is one of the most important slides. And you need to show your financial projections. You need to show why do you need the funding that you are requesting, why now, what are the next steps, what's the technology readiness level now, the TRL, and the BRL, the business readiness level. Now, remember that this template was created for the EIC, but as I said, even if you are earlier at your funding stage, even if you are earlier in your TRL, you should use the same template. So in the case of Intracom, this is what they are looking for, 600K and convertible notes and 18 months of runway. So they were going to use this 600K in order to do the product market fit, customer development, and early market efforts and achieve profitability. Same here in transfer-wise. This is what they were looking for. These are the goals that they want to achieve. I can't remember which this is. This must be buffer. So same here, but these in this case, this is Bliss. They are having traction. So they were having paying customers. So they did have annual revenue, which is very, very important. And in here in buffer, the milestones that they have reached and the milestones that are still to come. With LinkedIn, a more advanced presentation with the revenue at that point and the average unique monthly visitor. So they are building the case. They already have, at that point, they already had 20K plus contact requests per month. So they were growing at a very aggressive scale. And another example for the product roadmap with quarters and what they were planning to do in every quarter from now till next year. So these are some examples that you can combine, you can use. Again, you may feel that you want to split that into 2 slides, provided that the template can accept that. You can do it, or you can fit everything in 1 slide and just have another slide for those investors that are interested in seeing more details. As we move towards the end, you have also to describe your business model. So you have already described the solution and the market and the competition and what you need to reach for your product to reach a final stage. It's excellent, but you need also to explain the business model. And you need to explain what are the key elements of this business model. What is the market approach and the revenue stream? So how are you going to earn money from your idea, from your product? And what are your economics? So the revenues per unit, for instance, the cost for customer acquisition. These unit economics, which are very important because they show that we have built your model. And if you have built a model, then it is easy to adapt to any case. So it's not just assumptions that you make out of nothing, but you have thought about it. You worked in a spreadsheet with certain financial models, even if you don't have to present these financial models at this stage. So this is the business model of Airbnb, 10% commission on every transaction. It's simple. They hope that they will make commissions, and this is the revenue that they project. And how is this achievable? Because they expect this is the share of the market that they expect to get, and this is the average fee, and this is the 10%, how they're going to get it. And this is a more elaborate slide, of course. It is from, I can't remember, explaining the business models with user acquisition, user information intelligence, and it's from Mint, yes, financial application. And again, the future potential with large expected user base, plus high quality user data, plus target that's high profit potential. So this is how they are hoping to earn more money through advertising. And this is buffer. So This one is offering a freemium. So they were looking into winning customers, winning users, that the users would have nothing to pay, but hopefully these users would convert to paid plans. If only 2% of the users were converting to paid plans, that would be enough for them, for their model. And plus more revenue this is from the cut they were taking from the users, from the paid users. And 1 million users with projected revenue 3.6. Now, you will realize that not everything is clear in every slide. So make sure that when you present something, this is absolutely clear, or if it is not, you should prepare to answer a question about that. And finally, we are towards the end now. This is the last slide before the conclusion slide, before the final slide. And here you present the team. And remember that investors and partners are more interested in the team than in the product. You would invest in a company that has a great team, even if the product is not fully aligned at the moment with the market, because you would be confident that they can improve it and they can build a better product. But you would be hesitant to invest in a company where the team is not strong enough, or where certain skills are missing, because even if the product now it's okay, or it looks okay, you wouldn't be sure that these people will be ready to implement this product correctly. Let's see a few examples. This is the team from Airbnb. Some nice pictures, a few lines for each one of them. This is the team of Intracom, and this is the team of Dropbox. So Dropbox doesn't look very professional, but still they could feature some achievements, and you see that their achievement was that they were both from MIT, so they were able to convince their investors. And finally, as a conclusion, you have one final slide before you end, and this is where you need to summarize the most important information that you provided, and explain why you are the right team and why the investor should invest in you, or the partner should work with you, or the client should buy your product. So this is the final slide of Bliss. This is the final slide of Crunchbase. And this is the final slide of Front. It's another application similar to Slack. So study all these examples. There are plenty more examples that you can find, and see how you can find the one that works better for you. These are the sources, and you can find more examples in these sources. So we have presented the structure of the pitch deck, but remember that this is a structure not only for EIC Accelerator, but for any investment partnership collaboration that you plan to do. This is something that you should have the moment you start working with a team. Whether you are a research team working together and hoping that you will establish a company in the future, or you are an established company and you want to create a new idea, to work on a new idea, or you are in between. You need to have a presentation to show what you're doing and where you want to go. Not only what you're doing now, but also the vision and the mission of the company and the opportunity. Now, the pitch deck of presentation and the application form, you have realized that more or less is the same information. So we talked about problem, we talked about innovation, about market, the impacts, the team, the funding request. We have talked about all these aspects. In video pitch, you need to select those that make more sense for you. It's like an advertisement. It's the one that should inspire and convince other people to work with you, other people to invest with you. So you need to be clear and concise. Forget terminology, forget acronyms, jargon. Speak clearly. Do not try to impress with your vocabulary. You definitely need to present the problem. You need to show why this problem is important. And you need to describe the solution. So remember the two slides in the pitch deck. The first slide's the problem, and then the solution, the innovation. However, beyond that, you don't have to give all the details about the market and all the details about the rest of the aspects of your product or your service. But you need to address the audience. So if you are targeting evaluators and if you are creating a video pitch for EIC Accelerator, then this is different than creating a video pitch for investors. And it is totally different than creating a video pitch for potential partners or even for customers. So remember that the audience will define the exact content of the video pitch. One size does not fit all. Since you are shooting a video, then you have to demonstrate the product. So you need to show some visuals. You need to show how it can be used. You need to present the functionality of this product or of this service, and you need to make sure that you get it straight. You are relaxed. You know your subject, and you have a good flow of narration from start to finish. So you need to practice again and again and again before you are able to present that. And of course, now we have a lot of influencers and we have a lot of people working with video in Instagram, in TikTok, and wherever. So maybe the younger generation knows that better than us. But what is true is that you see maybe a TikTok video of 10, 20 seconds, and I'm sure that those that are good enough may have taken 2 or 3 hours of trials, of shooting, of different sets of experimentations. So it may be short, but it is not quick to produce it. So you need to give time to that, and you need to mature it along with your other tools. Some good examples you can find in here with a collection of the best videos used in similar projects. So to wrap up the EIC Acceleration short application, this is the evaluation element and what the evaluators will look for in your proposal. So you can see that they will look for the vision and ambition to scale up. So it's not enough for you to say, we're fine as we are, we just want to increase our sales. No, you need to have a vision and ambition of something bigger. Now, you need to have a breakthrough character and a high degree of novelty in your innovation. You need to make sure that you are beyond 5, 6 or more, and make sure that the timing is right in terms of the market, users, the societal and scientific and technological trends are there. So if you were trying, for instance, to pitch a hotel business during COVID, then that's not exactly correct timing, or an aviation business during COVID. That wouldn't be correct timing. But anything related to health would be a great timing during COVID, or anything related to remote meetings, for instance. And in fact, a lot of the platforms that we use now became quite big during that time. So these are the things that the evaluators will look for in your proposal, as well as, of course, the impact. So competitiveness and demand. If your innovation is better than what the competition proposes, if the solution is bringing sufficient added value, or it will trigger demand for potential customers and all that. The market development, if you're going to develop new markets or transform existing ones, and finally, the broader impact and the team. Remember that these all aspects were already presented in all your components, in the application form, in the pitch, and in the video. So you need to build a single narrative where all these three components will work together. And you need to show that you are well informed, you are consistent, you're authentic, you're patient, and you are well prepared. So that's all from the second presentation. I don't know if we have any questions. I can take them now or at the end, but please feel free to ask if you would like to ask anything now, either in the notes, in the Q&A, or in the chat. Feel free to ask, and I can address these questions. So as I said, consider EIC template as a good template to start with. And it is a good template to start with because it contains all the components, all the key tools that you need to start thinking about the company. Even if you are not there yet, even if you are not in TRL 6, even if you are still in TRL 5 or 3, even in 2, then the same template can be used because you need to look ahead. You may be at a very early stage of the idea at the moment, but even so, we are not interested in where you are now. We're interested in where you want to go. So this is what you have to present, where you want to go, not to where you are now. We are already in 1 hour. I have only one presentation. I don't think that we need a break unless it's requested, but I think we can continue. Unless somebody wants to take a very short break of 5 minutes, it's fine with me. Please write in the chat. Okay. Okay. Now, this is the final presentation. Yes, there will be recording and we will share it, and I will make sure that you get all presentations. There are a lot of links in this presentation, so you can go to the sources. So this is the final presentation on achieving success in EIC. But remember, these are the same principles that you can use in every case. Okay, you learned about it. And you remember that we talked about the problem and the market opportunity. And the first question that you need to ask yourself is there a problem you can fix? Have you identified a problem? And if you have identified it, can you explain why it is a problem and for whom is a problem? Can you describe why customers are unsatisfied? And can you describe how this is addressed today? And what are the shortcomings and current solutions? Now, why am I asking this? Because very often we see solutions that are in search of problems. So there isn't any problem there to start with. Society, technology, other companies have already solved this problem. However, somebody for some reason decides that there is a problem there and presents such a solution like the Amazon Fire Phone in 2014. And remember that we're talking about 2014 now. Both iPhone and Android were in the market. And they were owning the market with almost 100% of the market was either iPhone or Android devices. And suddenly Amazon, a big company, a conglomerate, a very powerful company, the leader in marketplaces, decided that the world was needed another phone. And they introduced Fire Phone, and of course it flopped and it failed due to very high price, lack of differentiation, a very buggy software. And it was just another phone. Why should you go to Amazon's Fire Phone when you already had two domineering platforms like iPhone and Android? Another very famous failed experiment was, of course, Segway. And some of you may remember that. And you may see it now in some city tours. Amsterdam, for instance, has one. And when it was introduced in 2001, it was hailed as a revolution in transportation, and they were talking about introducing it in every city, and with everybody would move with that, and there would be no need for electric for motorcycles, for electric scooters, no need for cars for short distances, and so forth. It never caught on with the public. Users found it difficult to control, difficult to move. They were concerned about safety. Although presumably it was very easy to balance, to self-balance on it, and very easy to move. Well, after 8 years, it was discontinued, and you can see it now only in a few malls and in few city tours. and it's only a matter of time when all of them will disappear from the market. Another example is Coca-Cola, when in 1985, probably most of you won't remember that. I don't. I didn't remember that either. They introduced a reformulated version of their Coca-Cola beverage, and it was an attempt to find new customers, right, revitalize sales. But people didn't actually want it. They wanted back the old taste. And only after 3 months after it was introduced, they went back to the original formula. But my favorite is Juicero. I remember that actually. I remember the pitch from that startup. And they were asking an obscene amount of money to produce that juicer. They ran in the picture that you see. And they wanted to introduce a model like Nespresso with the coffee capsules in the fruit juice. The price of the juicer was extremely high, 400 euros. And the user realized that you could just buy the packaged juice and you could squeeze it. You didn't need the juicer. So the device flopped, and after some years, or maybe even less than a year, I can't remember, the company defaulted. So what are the takeaways from this? You need to identify real needs in the market before developing new products. And these products need to address genuine customer pain points. Otherwise, they will not succeed. Avoid creating solutions that sound good. They may be sexy in a matter of presentation and a matter of show, but they are not. They do not solve any problem, and most probably nobody will want them. So now that you have identified the problem and you are confident enough that there is one, you need to find the innovation. And you need to make sure that your innovation, your solution, your product, your service has a unique selling point opportunity. So it is something that other people may want. Now, in simple terms, this means that you have to describe how your solution works. You have to give your value proposition, and you have to explain your development stage. More or less the slides that we have already explained. But there's another aspect here. If you are applying for any EU program, you need to make sure that whatever you are describing is not something that is protected by intellectual property. And there is a process that you need to take in order to assure your freedom to operate. Freedom to operate means that you can use this product or service that isn't protected in any way by a patent or by a copyright or by anything else. So this is the definition of the freedom to operate, and it is necessary because otherwise you may get into legal trouble, and you may be infringing something, or you may be open to claims. So you need to have a clear path for the development and identify and manage any risks that come with that, which means that you need a solid FTO analysis, a freedom to operate analysis. There are certain consultants that can do that, or You don't have to go at this stage to a patent lawyer. You can do it yourself, but you need to devote some time in that and read a little bit what's in store. So you need to know your product, find any existing patents, and in the geographical space that you will be operating, understand the claim of these patents, and figure out where are you. And if you don't understand, then you can ask a professional. Now, where to search? These are there are enough databases. Some of them, most of them are free actually, and this is the safest way is to go in every such database and do a search by keywords, by names, and find see what they come up with. Do not trust results from any Gen AI tool. No, not results from OpenAI, no results from Gemini or any other tools. They are not reliable. They do not do any cross-reference. So go only to the databases. Another aspect that you need to take care of is the targeted market. And you may have seen the definitions for TAM, so the total addressable market, the serviceable available market, and the serviceable obtainable market. And this is the market that we are targeting and we can reach. So it doesn't matter if the total addressable market is huge. What matters is what percentage of that market are we able to reach? And of course, willingness to pay, because we may have a huge market, but if these users are not willing to pay, then we may run into problems. So in order to understand your market, take a look at these examples. Again, these are failures. Blockbuster used to be one of the most prevalent video rental chains. It failed to adapt because they never saw the rise of streaming services. Britannica was the standard of encyclopedias. They failed to keep pace. They left behind Wikipedia. Sony Walkman, that were the first, way before iPod. They revolutionized portable music. But again, they failed to see the rise of the MP3 player, and not to mention BlackBerry. They were in the market long before Apple and Android devices with that legacy keyboard. And it was great. I used to own a BlackBerry, and I was very happy with that. But again, they failed to see what was coming and what the competition was bringing. So what should you take from here? That you need to understand and address the customer needs, and you need to be agile and adaptable. Maybe what you have thought in the beginning when you were designing your product or the service is not applicable anymore. So that means that you may need to change. I'm not going to talk about a data plan, data management plan. It may be too early in your cases, but the slide is here. This is something that is necessary for all European projects. So it is necessary for EIC as well. But we have plenty of examples and templates that you can use. Finally, marketing and sales plan. You remember that in both the pitch and the forum, we explained about that. We presented our marketing plan and the sales plan and described our go-to-market with certain milestones. And here I have highlighted for successful selling propositions and business models. And to me, these are excellent examples. And from different sectors, we all know them. Of course, we all know iPod and iTunes. And the success of iPod was not that it was a great hardware. It was. The success of iTunes wasn't the fact that it was a great digital music store. They succeeded because they worked together. So they offered a superior listening experience, and I have some stuff here. But it wasn't. It was only the fact that they worked together, and they succeeded because they offered an environment where it was easy for anyone to download music and listen it directly in devices. Hilti is a company that used to develops, manufactures power tools, drills, and all that stuff. And they realized that they were losing, their sales were dropping, and they changed the whole model. Instead of just buying the tools, they offer rental and leasing solutions with a with a maintenance program. So you can just rent the tools and you don't need to worry about maintenance. And they also built a great IT platform to utilize that. Dell's success is also from the IT sector. Dell's proposition was that you don't need to go to the big players to buy a PC or a laptop. You could customize it and personalize it based on your purchasing power and your will, and you could configure it online and receive it directly, bypassing the retail channel. Dollar Shave Club is a more US coming example. Again, with a subscription model, it never worked in Europe, but it worked quite well in the States. And last but not least, your team and management. I already talked to you about how important the team is and how you need to show a track record of the founders and show that they have achieved something and they are the best people to work in that. So they have done something before this company. But you also need to describe the governance and who else is involved in this pursuit and in this in your plans, and ideally have an employee stock ownership plan. So this is how you are going to give incentives to non-founding members of the team. This is quite early, of course, for companies that are at the seed stage, but it is important. It shows maturity. And of course, you need to describe your capitalization table. So if somebody else is already has equity in your company, you need to be transparent and show who is that. So you need to build a great team, and the great team needs to have a shared vision, needs to have complementary skills, be able to work together, and be able to be resilient. And here are some very successful teams. You can read the stories behind that. And these teams really changed the future of these companies. In most cases, these companies were at a very bad stage before the management teams, the certain management teams took over, and they changed the whole the whole operation and the whole way these companies were working. Now, this is some corporate governance links that you can use. You will probably won't need that at this point. However, you can give it a look. There are some important notes on how to present your team and how to build a stock ownership plan. And finally, you need to build a good story behind whatever you are presenting. And you need to make sure that your brand is appealing. These are some brands that all of them used to be very strong when they were alive. Well, Boeing is still alive, but they're facing so many problems. But for some reason, they either went into bankruptcy, or they were absorbed by others, or they are facing a lot of problems at the moment, like Boeing. Kodak, Compaq, Nokia, I'm sure that you all know them. You need to learn from the mistakes of others in order for you to build something that is strong. So tell a story that humanizes your brand, your product, makes it relatable and relevant to your audience. Share your company's mission, your vision, the values, and how they align to your target market needs, and maintain a strong vision. And more importantly, stick to the core values and commitment of ethical practice that you have. In the long term, they are much better. Remember that throughout your presentation, throughout your application form, throughout your pitch deck, and of course, during your video, you need to say a story. You need to tell a story. So you need to keep your message clear, simple, and you need to repeat it a little bit, because people remember things when they listen it more than one time. You need to be authentic. Don't try to mimic somebody else. You need to find your own voice. And these are some examples of companies that have found their own voice and succeeded on that. And they found a tone like Apple, with simple and easy to understand, with aspirational, with a very consistent image. Same as with Nike, motivating, catchy, memorable ads. Amazon with the one-click, easy to understand, catchy, easy to remember. And of course, with the first years of Google, because they have dropped it now from the web page and from their vision. Don't be evil. So I'm approaching the end of the presentation. Here are some tips and sources that will help you prepare. I particularly like the Amazon's framework. That's a framework to explore product innovation. They have the famous PRFAQ. This is the way they work in Amazon is when they want to introduce a new product. Whoever is suggesting this product needs to create a press release. Remember that this product is not there yet, it's only an idea. However, they need to create a press release as if the product was ready to be released tomorrow. And not only a press release, but also a frequently asked questions. So you have an idea in your mind, product is not there yet. Can you create a press release as if the product is ready and is going to be announced tomorrow? And moreover, can you create some frequently asked questions? So if journalists ask you, will you be able to respond to them? The second link I have is about storytelling, and the third one is about talking, writing and talking in a TED talk. All of them are very useful. And with that, I want to wrap up. So what you need is a solution for a problem and not the other way around. Understanding a market and build a selling proposition, create a brand and tell a captivating story and build a great team. I would put the great team maybe in the beginning. Now that I see it, I think that probably great team should supersede that. Or maybe if you have a good idea, then before you go to the solution, build a great team and start working together. So that's all. That's 3 presentations on EIC, on building a pitch, and on avoiding mistakes by others. We will make all this available to you. And of course, this session is recorded. I'd like to thank you all. I know that it can be quite tiring listening to one person talking about anything and going through slides. And unfortunately, this is how it is. But it is also useful because you can have all this material available, and you can go through that and see any section that may be interesting for you. As I said, I didn't want to make this presentation only for EIC. Yes, it is EIC related, and I think that EIC is a very good opportunity for those of you that are maybe even at an earlier stage. I think that the short application is a good test of where you are. Even if you are quite early in your development stage, maybe it is worth it going for a short application, see how many goes you get out of the 4 experts, and see how and what you can improve. So in that sense, I think it's very beneficial if you build a pitch using this template. It will help you not only pursuing EIC opportunities, but it will help you pursuing any opportunity. This will be your business card to any potential partners. Sure, they can find a lot of information through your website if you have one, but maybe in early stages you don't even have a website. So a pitch deck is absolutely necessary, and it will help you understand what is missing and think how you can present your idea in an appealing way. So give it some thought, play with it, see if you can devise something like this, and I'm sure that it will be very useful sooner than you believe it will. I'm happy to respond to any questions, any comments. Yeah, I don't see any. However, my email is in all presentations. As I already said, we are going to share all these presentations and make the video available as well. I'd like to thank you for your patience and for staying the whole 1.5 hours with me. And I hope the presentations were useful and can be of some use to you in the near future. Thank you all, and have a nice afternoon.